Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Connect to Tech with another episode of What the Tech. I have no idea when the last one of these went out, but we tend to just do them now when something interesting happens, rather than forcing ourselves to think of something, which is probably
scheduling
better.
is
Probably
hard
makes
when
sense.
the tech industry is this wobbly,
Unpredictable, yeah, and how we're both in lockdown and probably won't see each other for many years.
forever. By the time we see each other, the PlayStation 6 will have come out, and
Probably.
we just won't even talk about the 5. We'll just
We may as well
that thing
just
in the
skip it at
corner
this
that
point.
looks a bit like a router.
Oh God. Well, so yeah, we're going to first talk about the actual console. Well, you've seen the title. The title of this is we're going to talk about what Sony released at the conference yesterday, and they released the new console, the PS5, which no one was surprised. They'd already released that it was going to be called the PS5, didn't they?
Yes,
No
they
one was
said what it was
surprised
going
by
to
that.
look like. Well, no, they said it was going to called and what it was going to like have inside it, but we didn't know anything much more than that.
Well, if you want to know more about what's actually in the tech specs of that versus the new Xbox, we did that in a previous episode, which the link will not be in the screen for because I don't know how to do that anymore. It'll be somewhere. It'll be in the
YouTube,
description.
Yay!
Click in the down below section. What?
Click down there.
Yeah.
There's stuff down there. Ooh.
So yeah. Well, first we're going to talk about the console, the aesthetics, and sort of anything new that they've told us. Because we've already mentioned the inside bits.
Now, I watched the thing live.
Yeah, Richard's
Harry hasn't.
More well informed. I'm going to give an impression live.
You're getting this like first like now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna do a worse job than the actual reveal.
I know it looks like a white internet router from like Sky in 2007. Apart from that,
that's about right.
So they confirmed that they're going to do one without a disk drive.
Well, the Xbox already did this with the Xbox One S. There was a digital only version that didn't sell very well.
Well, why are they doing it then?
The thing is that since I've been moving home again, I've just finished university. I handed in my dissertation about a month or so ago now. I think it was. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, handed in my dissertation a while ago and did all my exams or whatever. Just waiting for the results. But moving home has shown me how many PS2 games I really have, because that was a really good console generation with lots of brilliant games that I want to keep. But having physical media of them is an issue, actually.
And you can't bring yourself to put them all in one of those little zip-up blue things that has like a million slots in it, because you want the nice
those are the
everything.
devil's work. I won't deal with that. Yeah. Because I like it's a PS2 disc. It's got a cool case and all the the art's cool too and stuff like that, and the little booklet that they all come with. And the thing that I'm finding is that on my PS4, I've only got a few games. Like I'm looking at them now. I've got about 10 games, 10 physical game discs out of 100 and something games on my PS4.
Oh wow!
Most of them I've bought either on double discount sales on the PlayStation Store because I've got PS Plus, or have been given to me free in my PS Plus subscription. So I don't have a disc. But I've been finding that to be fine. Again, like disk drives are loud, usually.
That's
PS4
true.
one can get quite loud, really, the disk drive itself.
So do you think you'll get... Which one do you think you'd buy if you had the choice?
Well, I'm not sure, because I like...
but then you can't use it as a Blu-ray player, can you, if you don't have it? But then I suppose if you've got a PS4, then...
That's the thing. I don't have a 4K screen, so 4K Blu-ray support doesn't matter to me right now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, by the time I'm considering buying a 4K screen, 8K screens will be out, and I'm guessing that the streaming media will have caught up. So Netflix will have caught up with everything, and so 4K Netflix will be like normalized or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not one who sits on the bleeding edge of screen technology. I find a nice screen I bought off my mate for 50 quid because I'm cheap. And I'm stuck with that. Because it's IPS and it's nice. And that's it. So the 4K Blu-ray player isn't a selling point for me. because I've got Blu-ray players. I've got Blu-ray player in my PS3 and in my PS4, so that's fine.
So and even DVDs, if your PS4 decides
all of them can play.
Yeah, of course. Well, and your PC can just play. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. And the PS4 has shown itself to be hardy enough. I'm not expecting it to spontaneously combust when my PlayStation 5 enters the house. You know,
unless it's
I've thrown it down the stairs. I filled it full of lemonade at one point by accident, and the disc drive stopped working for about a month, and then suddenly fixed itself, type of thing. You know, the thing's hardy.
It's resilient.
It's been through a lot. It was used when I bought it, and that was 5 years ago.
Oh, I forgot it was secondhand.
Yeah, I got it 5 years ago, secondhand for 188, and you can't get them for that price even now.
That kind of emphasizes how long it's been the dominant console in the generation.
7 years the PS4 has been
because the PS4 Pro is just kind of a gimmick for people who could be bothered to spend that much for 4K gaming.
From what I can tell from Dan Nerdcubed and a few other people that I've been watching, it's so much louder than the PS4. I don't see the point.
No, it's a lot more money as well. It's still selling for like 330.
It's like 300.
Yeah.
And my PS4, as much as it's been through the ringer, can play. Like I was playing Days Gone a few minutes ago. I was just playing Days Gone, and it looks beautiful. It's a very new game that only came out semi-recently. I just recently finished Marvel's Spider-Man on this PS4.
Yes.
And that was fantastic. And I'm playing VR on a standard 2013, I think, PS4.
Yeah.
That came out whenever it came out. You know, this is a slightly later one because it's got the matte black hard drive cover. But other than that, I don't see the point. Especially the Slim, because the Slims I know from the PlayStation 2 era, they get too hot. The PS2 Slims always got too hot, and they didn't have an integrated bloody power supply. I will not stand for external power supplies. We live in the future. Put the power supply in the thing, or don't give me the thing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of living in the future, so the new one.
The new thing looks cool. It's growing on me. When I first saw it, I was like, how the hell am I going to put that anywhere? I messaged you directly after I saw it. You can't stack on it. There's no way to stack. So you can light down on its side. They have shown images of that, but it looks wrong.
Right,
it doesn't look good.
It's clearly designed. That I'm wondering if that has something to do with the fact that they may be trying to lean on the digital version. Because I think it's strange that they've chosen to have the default position of a console that has a disc drive in be upright. Because we know that that's a bit uncomfortable for the disc drive.
Like my PS2. Technically, the PlayStation 2 has feet on the side of it so you can stand it up. But ever since I've had I got my PS2 very, very early. And I've had it for literally most of my life. And it won't play discs when it's on its side. It makes a horrible rattling noise. The disc is clearly not engaging correctly.
Yeah, because it's not settled.
So it doesn't work that well. And the PlayStation 3, because I got a super slim PS3 right at the end of the PlayStation 3's era, because I was a kid when the PS3 was out and I was really poor and I couldn't afford a new console. So I finally got a PS3, and that thing goes like hell. It vibrates the whole desk on its side, but when it's lying flat, it's quite happy.
So that is a strange decision, I think, but unless they're expecting everyone to buy the disc driveless one.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know which one's going to be the default one.
Yeah.
Because is it going to be a case of they try the digital one and then they figure out that actually, no, that's not really worth it. So then they just revert to the other one?
Or is the disc drive going to be like an optional? Is it going to cost more? I don't know.
I think the thing I'm wondering is, will they offer an external disc drive for the discless one?
That just seems like you should buy the disc one.
Because they've got a Type-C port on the front.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at the interface. What's the interface like? Because I know some people were like raving about the Xbox interface. So
we've not had any kind of showing of what's on the back of it. We don't know what the outputs are. We only know the two inputs on the front. So we've got a Type A port, your standard USB port, and then a Type-C. The interest for me is that Type-C. That could mean a lot. Is it that they're trying to move the VR to a Type-C? and use Thunderbolt.
Possibly.
Because that would be really interesting. If they can use those high-speed Thunderbolt connections over USB Type-C that you've seen, like the Vive is trying to move towards and other people are trying to move towards, that would be really interesting. One cable for the whole VR setup.
Well, and then would it be a case of display through USB-C, so you could do it all in one.
And then would they use an inside-out tracking system so you wouldn't need the camera anymore? These are the questions.
Like
inside-out tracking, I'm sure we'll get some sort of video up on, because you've just got a, well, why don't you say?
Yes, I've just got an Oculus Rift S, which uses inside-out tracking, so I should do a video on that.
Yes, you should. I really want to do a comparison inside versus outside tracking. Because it's supposed to be amazing and brilliant, and I'm assuming it is, because they wouldn't put it on a retail product if it wasn't functional at the least. But
I've not had any problems really with the headset tracking. I had that one problem with the controller tracking that turned out to just be a USB bandwidth issue, weirdly. But I've had it set up in 3 different places now. 2 rooms in my house, and now this room in Rose's house, which is a completely different, positioning of the window and stuff. And I've not had any major tracking issues in terms of maybe, objects positioning. It's all been fine, so that's good.
I mean, that's the thing that's holding a PSVR back, I would say. It's not the headset, because that is comfortable, I think, for a headset. It's not as heavy as some, and it's it holds pretty well on the head. I find it okay, especially because I have glasses. That can be a bit of an issue. But as far as I can tell, PSVR headset, I think I'm quite happy with. The problem is the 180-degree sort of limit. You can't really move past the 180 degrees, because then you lose tracking on your handsets, and on the headset itself tracks 360. It's just you can't interact with anything behind you.
Yeah,
it really limits what games are available. So hopefully I'm looking at hopefully we're looking at something that can bring the PSVR more in line with the modern PC VR space.
Yeah.
And then with the added power that the PS5 will give us, we might see more and more things ported from PC VR to PSVR. And that would be brilliant, because PSVR has always stationed itself as the sort of entryway for people to get into VR without having to have $3,000 worth of gaming computer or whatever.
Well, that's the thing, because it is basically a high-end gaming computer. Well, we won't go on about the specs in this one because we did before, but it is essentially a high-end gaming computer. I wonder, do you know how kind of big it is physically? Have they given dimensions? Because is it going to be as big as a gaming computer, or is it as big as a PS3?
Well, the thing is, it looks to be not that much larger than the PS4 was in volume, like inside capacity.
Right.
Because the PS4 is quite deep. It goes quite far back, while this looks taller. It looks taller than it is deep, if you get me. If you're looking at the front of it, the depth looks shorter, but the height is taller than the PS4. So it's like a PS4 standing on its front or something for the dimensions. But again, it's this weird shape. I don't know how they're running that. I don't know how it's going to sit.
Yeah.
Clearly, they've increased the amount of ventilation, because there's that big gap right at the top there. They've got the two sort of white side things with lots of ventilation all along the top, which I think is what they're trying to do. Because looking at my PS4 right next to me here, the ventilation hole is very small. There's the gap between the two slabs, as it were, of the PS4.
Yes.
If you could have a PS4 on screen.
Yep. PS4 on screen magic.
There's that gap where the USB ports are and the disk drive is that goes all the way around the console, and that's really the only intake they have on the PS4. Is this little bit at the front on one side, not the disk drive side, and then down the sides. And when I'm using my PS4, I can feel it if I put my hand that it's sucking in an awful lot of air. But it is a bit stifled in there. I think this will make it easier for the console to breathe, I think.
Yeah, it does look like, I mean, people can complain about the shape, but it certainly looks like it's been designed for better air, funneling the air in.
Well, I don't know whether the tops I don't think that top is going to be an exhaust. I don't think they'll work it that way. They never seem to, and it wouldn't make sense to me as a design.
No.
That looks like an intake. which means it's got the exhaust at the back like the PS4 does, which is fine because then you can exhaust past the power supply, and it means power supply is definitely getting air, and that's good.
Yeah.
Also, internal power supply, yes. I'm certain that this is going to have an internal power supply, because if it doesn't, then I'll be mad.
If you look closely at the front, are you looking at a picture of it?
Mm.
On the right-hand side of the front, you can see that there are sort of what looks like black bumps, because there's holes in the black, which must mean that this sort of, well, potentially the air is also being drawn in that section at the front.
Yes, I think there's going to be I think this is going to be a high airflow device.
Yeah.
I don't think we're looking at some sort of stifled mess like the PS4 Pro is.
Yeah. Maybe they've actually listened to people.
That's the thing. We don't know anything about how it's going to be to live with.
No.
But for the moment, I think it looks okay, as long as you can find somewhere to mount it like that, like it's shown in the images. If you can't have it standing up, lying it flat is just going to look weird. Because the way they've gone is they've gone for a more, especially on the disk driveless one.
Yeah.
It's a symmetrical system, so the line down the center. I like that. I like symmetry. It looks better, I think.
Yeah.
It's like the PS4 doesn't really have any line of symmetry anywhere in the system.
No.
It's a very asymmetrical box. As much as the front is angled and the back is angled, so you could line a line down the middle of it. The light's offset, and the power buttons are offset. So it's one of those things. It's again, aesthetic choices are always objective. It depends what you think and whether it'll fit in anywhere you have.
Yeah.
You know, my first thought, like I said, is I sent you a message saying, where the hell am I going to put this damn thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I can't stack it on all my other PlayStation consoles.
Shall we talk some games then?
Yes.
I think we've covered everything about the console.
It's white. It looks a bit like a router. It's probably going to be hard to put anywhere.
Those are the main 3 points.
They're
the
key 3 points.
We had lots of games announced. Which were we expecting lots of games?
I was expecting something similar to the Xbox thing, because Xbox had a game event recently with gameplay.
Does it show that we're biased that we didn't cover that?
Well, it's just that there was nothing to cover. That event was so useless. They said it was a gameplay thing. They showed no gameplay of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I literally don't know any of the other games they showed because I don't care. Honestly. Have we seen any more from Halo Infinite?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, you can be excited about these ones.
Yes.
So what have we got?
26 new game trailers in this event, and that's a significant number higher than that Xbox event. But we've had some really big money games.
Well, it's the fact that they're good games as well. Yeah. Do you want to go through?
Well, that's the thing. I've got a list that I've curated myself of games that I'm excited about specifically.
Yes.
And maybe there's a few games that I can see the interest for other people. They're not quite for me, but I get that people will be excited about them. So let's go through some of I think I'll go through my greatest hits, the ones I'm really stoked about.
I think,
and then we'll touch on the ones that are a bit more everyone. And then I'll quickly touch on the ones that I think are junk and should not be anywhere near my brand new shiny console. But,
Yeah.
Someone might care. It's just definitely not
someone
me.
out there.
Someone, some 3-year-old with a console for some reason might care about Godfall or what was it called? Oh God, it had such an awful name that I just ignored it completely. No, Returnal. That's just why.
Returnal.
And
so what's
Pragmata looks fucking weird.
What are the ones that you are excited for?
I'm deeply excited about Horizon Forbidden West. I first played Horizon Zero. I got it when I first got my PS4. And then it sat there and I didn't play it because I was like, oh, cool, robot dinosaurs. Okay, that's cool, I guess. I played like the first mission where you're a little kid and I was like, okay, this is vaguely interesting. I'll get round to this at some point. And then left it for 2 years.
Wow.
Because I had other stuff to play and a new IP wasn't high on my list. I'm I like lots of car games and stuff, so I was playing. In that time, I caught up on the entire Xbox 360 backlog because I didn't have a 360 when I was younger. So I spent the first year of university buying a 360 and playing through all the backlog, including all 3 Mass Effect games. I played through all of Halo, a bunch of other big franchises I caught up on. So I completely I bought the game and ignored it. I feel like such an idiot now for doing that. Mm-hmm. And then I settled down in a house with some of my flatmates from university and started playing The Last of Us on the TV in the front room. That was how I first started. And so the girls and the people in the house really enjoyed that. They liked that it was more of a movie for them, so they didn't really have to play through it. And the girls weren't that into gaming, so it was a way for them to experience a new story, a new IP, adventure, whatever, without all that playing it malarkey, as it were. Yeah. So eventually I suggested playing Horizon Zero Dawn because, to be honest, I'd finished The Last of Us and we did a couple other games and I was like, well, I kind of want to play this. I've had it around for ages, never actually got into it, and thought that if I'm playing it for other people as well, it keeps me more focused and on point. So I started playing it and I started really getting into the lore of it and started reading into the plot of Horizon Zero Dawn is that it's been 2,000, 3,000 years since something has destroyed the world. The whole world is gone, and there's only these very small tribes, but there's all these huge cities and tanks and bits of planes and things just rotting away. And everyone's come out of it's like Fallout 4 if Fallout 4 all the people hadn't known about the pre-war world.
Right.
Eventually, through the plot, you learn that some dope decided that maybe robots should do lots of things, including maybe fighting our wars for us, and then found out that they'd gone all self-aware like. That's a really, really compression of a very good plot there, but oh well.
Right, yeah.
And so you learn through this game that there's this threat that's threatening the new planet that came from these old ones that left the planet in ruins and things like that. And Project Zero Dawn was this project that humanity was done. The robots were going to win. There was no way they weren't going to win. Right. So they constructed these vaults of knowledge and wisdom and saved the DNA of as many creatures as they could and put them into these gene vaults and set itself up with an AI that would run it. And when the robots had been defeated, because they were looking at coding and trying to crack their sort of engine code so they could shut the machines down. When they could shut the machines down, they could rebuild the ecosphere because the Earth would just be a barren rock by then. Was the idea. So they rebuild the world. The problem is that eventually one of these subsystems went haywire and is just trying to destroy the world because there was an idea that if the world was built wrong, they needed a way to reset back to cold, dead Earth so that they could have another go type of thing. If something goes wrong with something mutates horribly or something in the biosphere just goes hideously wrong, they got a way to undo it and redo. Try again, as it were. Well, the issue is that this sub-program of this AI is unhinged, unshackled by its higher systems and just goes nuts trying to destroy the world that they've just managed to rebuild.
Right.
The whole plot of the game finally comes to a head where Aloy, the lovely main character, defeats the bad Rongan and sends him away. But then he gets caught by Silence, another chap who helps Aloy on her journey.
I can see that Aloy returns.
So Aloy is returning in this new game, but there's this new threat, this weird red weed thing that's coming about now. And I think that must be connected to Hades, which is the bad guy from the first game, the AI program that's gone rogue. Because that red was all his aesthetic, the corruption was this red force that controlled the machines and made them go kill people and stuff or whatever. So it's interesting to see where they're going with it. They got some very varied terrains, but there were very varied terrains in Zero Dawn anyway.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see what they're going to do with it. I'm very excited because I want a continuation of this plot. I want to know what happened to the rest of the world. It's very America-centric, the first game, because you're stuck in an area of America. I'm not entirely certain. I don't think it is said specifically, but it may have been. I missed it. But this one, we're moving west. So we're moving towards the western coast of America.
Right, yeah.
To look at, San Francisco. There's a beautiful image in that reveal trailer of the Golden Gate Bridge and Chinatown in San Francisco and areas like that, which would be really interesting. There's lots of human things to go and look for there. They'll tell you more about how people lived those final days on Earth before everything went tits up, basically.
I'm
interested to
exciting.
see what they do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions that were left unanswered in Horizon Zero Dawn, such as this place called Elysium that they were talking about. I think it was called that, where the engineers who developed Zero Dawn, the program and the vaults and all this stuff, were supposed to be sent to this place called Elysium, deep underground. We never saw that in the first game, and it'd be very interesting to see how did they survive for those last few years before the world turned. They were promised that they would live out their natural lives as comfortably as possible, buried deep in the earth. It'd be interesting to see if that succeeded, or were they captured, did they get got by the robots in the end? There's a lot of questions there.
Right, yeah, so it's got open-ended potential.
There's lots of open-ended things in that game. Yeah. I'm just interested and to get to play more with Aloy as a character. She's just a good character. Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good, I hope. Guerrilla have not, given me anything to worry about when it comes to their games.
Yeah.
So we'll see, I think.
There you go. So what else are you looking forward to?
Well, there's the new... Well, initially it looked like it was going to be a new Spider-Man game, but it's now come out that it's going to be a expansion for the PlayStation 5 version of Marvel's Spider-Man, following Miles Morales as Spider-Man, which is interesting and good because they were building for that in the first Spider-Man. It's not the first Spider-Man game. Again, it's so annoying. Spider-Man games are like the Spider-Man movies. It's like, well, it's not this Spider-Man, it's this Spider-Man. So many Spider-Mans. They're everywhere.
Spider-Mans into the Spider-Verse.
There's too many Spider-Mans. No. Some of them aren't even Spider-Mans. Spider-Peoples. Too many Spider-Peoples. But anyway, this is a continuation, it looks like, of the plot of the Spider-Man Marvel game on PS4. Everyone just call it Spider-Man PS4, so I'm just going to call it Spider-Man PS4. So we're moving away from Peter Parker, who at the end of that game, Miles goes to Peter and is like, hey, I got spider powers. And Peter's like, oh, dip, I got spider powers too. Cool. And then they do cool backflips at the end. Sorry to...
I remember. No, I've seen...
Spoiler warning. Uh-oh.
Spoiler, we'll put that in. I saw Noki's playthrough, so I remember
Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so there's, they had to do something with that. And everyone really enjoyed that Spider-Man game. It sold very well. It was... Again, I've only just recently finished it. It's one of those things that I played a bit when it came out and then sort of ignored it for a while. And now I finally finished it thanks to lockdown. Yay.
Yay.
And it was a good game. It felt good. There was a lot of forced stealth and I cannot deal. Just, I suck at stealth at the best of times. I like being able to do stealth for like 5 minutes and then give up and shoot everyone. That's how I usually do it in different games. It's like playing Days Gone. I'll like stealth the first 3 kills and then be like, oh, I found a machine gun. Okay, screw this then. Or just flatten everyone with my bike. So
I think Spider-Man.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be interesting. We'll get back into that city and there'll be new bad guys to fight. And I'm hoping it's quite deep, but it being a story DLC, I'm worried it's going to be small.
Yeah.
Because that does sometimes happen. Those expansions can be less expansive than the name would suggest. It can just be like, here's 3 missions playing as Miles. That would be a bit naff. Hoping it's something a bit deeper than that, and I'm hoping it has some ties to a second Spider-Man game, a full game.
Right.
So maybe Miles comes across some sort of minor villain, but there's a deeper theme running beneath that then they explore in Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, the game on PS5, and we'll call it Spider-Man 2 PS5. Because there's too many Marvel things with Spider-Man in them now.
Yeah.
And then there's Sony things with Spider-Man, and then there's
yeah.
But basically, the Spider-Verse movie did so well that people are more open to Miles Morales as Spider-Man now, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think
if
that's fair enough.
Into the Spider-Verse did anything, it cemented Miles Morales as a character for the Spider-Man franchise, because we were always so used to Peter Parker. We've had 3 Peter Parkers.
Yeah.
We had the first Peter Parker, who was good, and then we had the Andrew Garfield Peter Parker, who sucked ass and was the worst. And then we had the third Peter Parker, who is this cool guy, and he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're a bit done with Peter Parker. We've done him to death. We're sick
of
Peter
I think
Parker.
That's fair
He's boring.
Enough. Yeah.
We've killed so many Uncle Bens that the writer's going out of style.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's good. I'm glad that it's not.
Peter Parker alone. Yeah. Let's have some Miles. So I'm hoping this is a setup. This is a big chunk of setup for Spider-Man 2
Hopefully,
PS5. Hopefully. Yeah. And this is going to be a nice big chunk of game, and it's going to be like £20 or £30 or something when it comes out.
That would be good.
It's sort of a middlingly sized AA game.
Yeah.
Rather than the big AAA budget type of thing. And then it sort of preludes to Spider-Man 2. So hopefully that'll be something.
Hopefully.
What else was there? I feel like I'm doing lots of talking, and I am.
Well, it's because you're more well researched. I'm just acknowledging.
Have you seen much of Deathloop?
No, only what you've told me, more or less.
Because that's a cross-platform game. It's not a PlayStation exclusive. We don't think it might be a timed exclusive, but we're not sure. I don't really remember.
Right.
Other than that, it's basically Dishonored with guns. And how can I not be extremely excited about Dishonored with guns?
Mm-hmm.
Because Dishonored is one of those games that just feels good to play. The movement is done well with all the jumping and the parkouring and using your superpowers to parkour up things and stuff, and all those other powers and things you get in that game. But it's got this extra thing. You've got 8 bad guys to defeat before sunrise or whatever it is. You've got 24 hours to defeat them. Otherwise, you restart the game over.
Yeah.
So it's like Groundhog Day mixed with Dishonored with guns. So it's just getting better every 5 minutes.
It's interesting.
And then you've got that added element of the professional assassin trying to stop you at every turn. That is brilliant. That's a brilliant curveball on this, because you've not only got the generic guards of whoever you're trying to kill to deal with, you've got this superpowered person with a sniper rifle trying to pick you off. I think that's going to be a really interesting dynamic. You might be quite powerful, but they will also be quite powerful. So there's more of a balance. I don't know whether they're going to do it that you sort of get random match made with people, because they did show a bit of footage where you played as that assassin trying to take out the main character.
Right.
It would be very interesting if it's got a Dark Souls-like drop-in type of deal, where you can drop into other people's games and take pot shots at them or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whether it's just a sort of well-done AI that is sort of playing a game of Hitman against you.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting, that dynamic, and the gunplay looks amazing. The way he was just turning people's heads 180 degrees in that trailer was just like, okay, well, there's breaking someone's neck and then there's doing that. So
that's the next step.
This is visceral. It looks like a visceral sort of game, one of those that has a really good feel to it. They showed some shotgun stuff with the lever action shotgun where he spins it, and I'm just like, I'm in. I don't even care. I'm in. Shotguns in games are important because the feel of the shotgun tells you how the gunplay is going to feel, and the way that looked, it looked powerful. It looked like the reload. They were playing with it. They were having fun.
Yeah.
It just looks like a fun game. It's got nice, bright sort of 50s aesthetic, like a sort of 50s Bond movie or something. It looks really interesting. So I'm very excited about that. Something different that maybe we could play on the channel or something.
Yeah.
Because if it's got that 1 versus 1, but also another objective, it's not just 1v1. There's more going on.
It'll be interesting, yeah.
You aren't just trying to kill the other player. Well, one of you is. The other one's trying to do objectives. It's interesting, that connection.
Yeah,
so, you know, we could take turns. You could be trying to do the objectives and I could be trying to take you out, or you could be trying to take me out and I'm trying to do the objectives. It'd be interesting to see how that dynamic works.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited about that. And I'm hoping with that comes cross-platform play so we can both play it.
Right, yeah,
I'm definitely getting a PS5 on release, probably.
Yeah.
Depending on how much it costs.
That's one thing they've been very tight-lipped about.
Yes, I'm concerned about that.
Which
but most
is not
people
necessarily
seem to think
good.
There was a leak I recently saw that said it would be sort of $4.99, so 500 quid, which I think I could deal with. But you know, I was kind of hoping $3.99, if I'm honest, in my heart of hearts, because I'm cheap and I don't want to spend too much. But again, it's like the PS4. I paid 180 quid for my PS4 and I got 5 years of gaming out of it. Yeah. Now I bought it a couple of years late to the game, but whatever. You know, I'm quite content with how much that cost and how much gaming I got out of it. If we get another 7 years out of this console generation, like we did with the PS4, I think, you know, $3.99. I think that's worth it. $4.99, you're pushing it a bit.
It's a bit of a pushing it, yeah.
You know, mid-end gaming PC territory.
I suppose you, as an isolated case, can think like that. You, in a way, you got off easy last time. You got such a good deal.
That's the thing. I managed to get a
kind
sweet
of carrying
deal.
It forward, isn't it? Yeah.
So you know, I'm paying it forward by taking the
hit on this literally paying it forward.
Yes.
It's a shame you can't go back in time and tell yourself to send you 200 quid.
Yeah. Put it in a savings account and then just have it appear to me in the year 2020.
Sorted.
But remind me not to spend it on masks and breathing equipment. Got to buy a PS5.
Yeah. So what else? What else was there?
There's quite a lot of stuff. There's a lot of games. This is the problem. There's a lot of games I'm stoked about, so it's hard to get through them. I've spoken about Deathloop, Zero Dawn, not Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, and Spoodermans.
Yeah.
So let's have a quick look, because there was one I was really interested. Oh, The Little Devil Inside.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones I think is going to be quite fun. The trailer looks really cute and different. Looks like you're sort of on a quest for this old landowner or something to go and capture these creatures or battle them or what have you.
Oh, I like the look of the art design just from a picture of it.
Again, the style is really nice.
The style, it looks really like this is just a screenshot of this forest with this torch and the fire and everything looks really nicely done. And the lighting, yeah.
And this looks well done and something different, which I've not, I haven't played Monster Hunter or any of those sorts of games before. So this is something that might be different for me, but I like where it's going. It's clearly got a cheeky humor to it from the trailer. It's quite humorous, and clearly they've got something behind it there. I just want to know more about the project, really. Why are we going and hunting these creatures? Is it just for this chap, or is there a larger region? How come he isn't out hunting? How come he's just wandering around a little village or reading the paper or whatever? It's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's one.
That looks like a good one.
Stray is another that really has my interest. Because I love cats. Cats are cute. Cats are best. And it's literally a game with a cat wearing a backpack and everyone else is robots. It's like someone stole it from my brain and went, this is what he doesn't know he wants, but he wants.
Oh, wow. It looks cool.
I was talking to Georgia about it, my sister, and the way we're thinking is that it's a bit like Mirror's Edge.
Really?
And you'll be... Well, we're thinking
it says
that it
Blade
might be
Runner
something
style,
like that.
yeah.
So it might be a case that you play as the cat and we've got to move from place to place and we're doing sort of, again, package delivery missions for this society of robot peoples. But in the background, there's some detail to what happened, why there's all these robots, and where are people, and how come the cats are fine, but everything else is robots. It's one of those things that I'm sure there's going to be lots of environmental or detail-driven story sort of, you won't know what happened on the surface level, but if you look deeper, it'll show you what happened, why this civilization has collapsed, why the robot civilization has rose up in its place, type of thing.
Right.
But I love all that kind of stuff, that weird dystopian, but not quite. Because the robots look quite content from the trailer. They look like they're just living their lives. Right. So that makes me even more interested in where the people are, because it's not like these are sort of gun turrets that have come and machine gunned everyone to death. They just look like generic chaps. So, and they aren't violent in the way they move. They move quite slowly. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's got something different about it. But it does look like it's going to be more of a Mirror's Edge style thing, but you play as a cat. And whoever thought of Mirror's Edge but as a cat.
I like how you said because,
I don't know,
but you play as a cat. Yeah.
That's
genius. It's like you say, it's like you didn't know that that's what you wanted, but apparently it is. I like it.
Blade Runner aesthetic. Cats
that's what it
doing
says.
Mirror's Edge. Yes.
Basically.
In 100%.
Yeah.
That looks good. I will definitely be getting involved with that. Let me have another look through. I'm just scrolling through them now.
We're trying to prioritize so we don't go on for forever.
Yeah.
We're on for just past 45 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Kenna the Bridge of the Spirits, looks interesting. It's another one of those that I think will be a bit of an indie darling. I don't know how indie it is.
I like the look of the design. I know that's basically all I can comment on, but it does look.
Yeah.
I like the glowing tree.
It's very bright and colourful looking game. From the trailer, it shows that you're playing as this spirit guide. She's described as. I had a quick look at because it's not just a Sony exclusive. This one, it's got a timed exclusive on PS5, and then it releases onto Epic Games Store.
Oh, okay, that's exciting. Well,
that's the way they're doing it.
It says there might be some use of sort of 3D audio.
Yes, they said that it's built for the PS5, so I think that the Epic Games version will be the inferior version.
Right, okay.
Is what we're assuming, and it will use those new functions built into the PS5, like the 3D audio and the controllers, different functionality they've added to that. They've got the adaptive triggers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very interested to see how they use all this. But from the trailer, it just looks like this sweet little story about someone trying to reclaim this village from darkness that's moved in and save these adorable little spirit creatures from the evil bad Rongans who done bad. And so, you move through and there's a section where you clear the darkness from an area and suddenly all the vibrancy returns to that area, all the grass grows back, and there's it just looks like a bright, happy game. And in these times,
we need
nice to have something bright, happy, and positive. It looks nice. It looks cute. I'm probably going to get it because it looks so cute. And that's another one. It's like that little devil inside. Those two, I think, fill the same sort of hole where, I'll definitely play them because they've got that feel of something that's a good experience. We don't have that many games that feel that.
It's what you need at the moment,
Yeah. Also, the thing I've seen online is a lot of people comparing Kenna to Disney Pixar movies. Right. The way she moves and the look of the characters and the feel of the environments looks very much like something like How to Train Your Dragon or, a DreamWorks or a Disney Pixar movie.
That's interesting.
Being rendered in real time on your PS5. That's something people are quite excited about. I'm sure it's not going to be that high a detail because, again, the likes of Disney Pixar and DreamWorks and the other animators use huge render farms to construct beautiful environments you see in movies.
And it's not real time.
We're getting closer. There's stuff that came out on the PS4 that looks bloody gorgeous, especially with a sort of an art style that is 100% realistic. Realism is hard. But if you've got that sort of
but if you're not aiming for it, then
just make it cute. I think it's going to be a very beautiful game to play, honestly. So I'm quite happy that it's going to be coming to PS5 for sure.
Yes.
I think that's. Let me just have a quick look at the full list again, just to double check I haven't missed something. Project Athea looks interesting, but again, it's one of those things. It's probably going to be, about 3 years until it actually comes out. So I can't be bothered talking about it really. It looks like it's going to be a new Final Fantasy.
Right.
As far as I can tell, it's got that feel. It's done by Square Enix. There's all the signs there that that's probably going to be Final Fantasy 16. I think I'm going to leave some of the other ones.
Okay.
Talk about the ones that I don't want anywhere near my PS5.
That's probably better to get a balance. Yeah, it's a good idea because we've got like
the ones
10
I
minutes
adored.
Left.
There's the ones that probably aren't for me, but I can see the value. It's like Demon's Souls. Lots of people want to play Demon's Souls. It's hard to find a copy, and to be honest, it doesn't look that solid on the console that it was initially built for.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where Dark Souls has done brilliantly, and Bloodborne and all these other games, but playing Demon's Souls now is difficult because it just looks rubbish. So, yes, cool, a remaster of Demon's Souls, but it's not for me.
Right.
Something that definitely isn't for me, though, is NBA 2K21.
I had a feeling you'd go straight for that one.
Why?
Straight into the other side.
Do we have sports games in 2020? If you want to do sport, go outside and do sport.
It's got to be for someone. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Outside is for sport. Get off my console. Just go out there. It's grey and miserable, and I don't care. If you like sport, really you probably like grey and miserable weather too. I don't know why, because you're probably some sort of masochist.
Yeah.
Bloody sport. Get off my console. Also, we know for a fact, because it's a 2K game, it's going to be a microtransaction hellhole that bankrupts poor people who clearly have no idea that they probably shouldn't be playing a basketball game. Why? I don't understand you, basketball game. Why do you exist?
You don't want someone to end up throwing your controller like a basketball. I mean, if they're going for immersion,
they're going to ruin their
DualSense
controller.
Exactly. I mean, how much of these every year the controllers get more sophisticated, and I know for a fact that
more expensive.
Exactly, I know my Oculus controllers are £89 each if you break one, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to drop that.
I thought the £50 for the PS Plus, PS Pro, VR controllers was too much.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's like, you don't want to drop it, do you?
But yeah, that's just no. Well, also, Destruction All Stars.
Is that another sports one?
No, it's a. From the trailer, it looks like they took Rocket League,
right,
and they took Fortnite, and they took cringe-tastic YouTubers, put them in a mechanical press, and compressed them until that came out. I don't know why it exists. I don't know who it's for, but if I ever meet that person, I'll probably end up killing myself. We'll have to see.
Terrible.
It's just basically this hideous mash of cringe culture and this. I know it just makes me mad. I'm getting old. These young'uns and their nonsense games. Ooh.
So are there any more that are on the don't let it near the console list?
I don't think so. I think they're the most egregious. Oh, Godfall just makes me sad. It just looks like, I don't know, one of them games. It looks like Raid Shadow Legends. You know that YouTube bloody advert you get every time you go on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's trying to be Skyrim, but nope.
Yeah.
It looks a bit like League, and I don't care for League of Legends, so.
Right, yeah.
I think it's more valid than the other two I spoke about for existing.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, no Godfall for me. The one thing I didn't talk about that is on here that really should have is Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could have mentioned that. Let's just quickly touch on it.
We just touched on it quickly, but basically, I've had Gran Turismo Sport for a while because it's one of those ones that sort of keeps getting updated, and they just keep adding cars to it. Not like cars as in expansions that you have to buy. They just keep adding cars to the base.
Right.
So to the point where now it's a pretty full-featured car driving game. And when the Gran Turismo series is getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I can put on the VR headset, put my PS4 controller into steering wheel mode, which you can do in that game,
and
legitimately drive a car.
Yeah.
It's sort of the point where I'm like, okay, where are they going to go now?
Yeah, that's kind of reached. What more can you get from a car game apart from even better graphics, which to a point, you're not even bothered about.
It's the thing of when I got my PSVR, the first thing I did was, because I already had Gran Turismo Sport, I went into the virtual garage and I put myself in a room with a Lamborghini Countach.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful cars ever built. And I just sat there and just moved my head around it, looked around the inside.
You just look
and
at
by
it,
the end of it, I literally put my real life hand into the air and tried to lean on this car to stand up.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, how much more pretty are we going to get?
Well, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
When they brought out ray tracing technology, I was sitting there thinking on my PS4, playing Gran Turismo Sport, thinking, well, what's the point? Clearly, the ambient occlusion and other features that are being used to guess at this stuff are already pretty damn close. I was looking at a Ferrari F40, and there was this big Happy Holidays thing behind it because it was Christmas time, and it was reflecting off the bodywork. How I would expect a reflection to work. So I don't know how much better they're going to be. This console's supposed to have ray tracing. I'd love to see it. But if Gran Turismo 7 is like a 60 quid game, and I can play GT Sport on my PS5, it's going to be a hard sell. It's going to be a hard one to sell to me. So we'll have to see. I'm excited about the return of GT mode, where you buy a car and you work your way up through the races like you used to do in Gran Turismo 4. That's good. I like that. Yeah. I like that little story. It's not much of a story, but it's sort of you're a racing driver, you're going to have to deal with driving a Nissan Micra for a few years until you can finally afford a Aston Martin or a Toyota Supra or whatever you want to drive. So I kind of like that. I like the idea of modifying my own cars again, because they really cut that back in GT Sport to the point where it's just move a slider to make the car better. It's like, no, I actually got into mechanics in the meantime between these games. I want to be able to add a new intake because I know how that works now. On classic cars, I want to be able to adjust settings on my carburetor. I want to get that deep, to the point where I'm changing the ECU and I'm adding my own this, that, and the other, get really into the mechanics of the thing, because I'm interested in that sort of stuff. Yeah. There's not many games that allow you to adjust carburetor settings. In fact, I don't think there are any. That's just not a thing that exists. Injection timing on spark plugs. They don't let you to change that in any game I've ever played, but that would be something that would be different and would add value to a new Gran Turismo. More customizability to your cars. I don't just want to make it look like my car. I want it to drive like my car. Feel and work like a real thing.
Exciting.
So that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I think we've covered a good range of good and bad.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Look after each other and be allies to those who cannot be allies to themselves, or something along those lines.
I think I'll just cut that in. That sounded quite good.
Help those who cannot help themselves in this current economic and socio-political climate.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this look at the PS5 reveal, and we will be back soon. I think it's exciting. We'll have to see, and we're obviously down the line going to have Richard unboxing it and looking at it all, which is very exciting.
I mean, it's going to be me getting way too overexcited about it, and I'm going to be making weird noises about how excited I am. It's like when I unboxed my PS4, it took me like 2 hours to take it out of the box because I was like treating each piece of cardboard like it was a specific piece of artwork, marveling at how I got this thing for so cheap back in 2015.
That's true. Yeah.
80 quid for a PS4 in 2015.
That is crazy.
Look at me with the wheel of deals.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
So thank you for listening. We will see you soon. I hope you're excited
for the PS5 too.
Yes.
And yeah.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.